This episode of the Juan of Words podcast is brought to you by our friends at Comcast Houston, who we are very proud to be working with. And they recently awarded through their Comcast Rise investment fund in the community of Houston in the entrepreneur
At the price of how much?
They invested $1 million.
They sure did. To how many? To how many?
To 100 businesses. They each received $10,000. So
there's a lot that you can do with $10,000 in your business.
Yeah, and we are grateful for Comcast for their support of our small business and for the support of other small businesses. So enjoy the podcast, and thank you to our friends at Comcast.
Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us. This is Juan Alanis, and as you can see, I'm here solo today without my sidekick, my wife Angelica. But I wanted to just show that video real quick. Obviously this is not a podcast, but I want to share that video because we are very excited to be working with Comcast and to be continuing our relationship with them. And today we are excited. I think we were sharing on all our social media. We were talking about the Comcast Rise program and the investment fund and the grants that were available. So it's really exciting now to be able to get to know some of the businesses behind that were actually selected, who are actually now recipients of this grant and this award money. And so with us today, we have a team from 132 Design here in Houston, design team, and we also have All Real Radio. We have who are with us, joining us as well. We'll get into a conversation with them here shortly. But first, I want to start with Felix, Felix is with Comcast, and he is going to tell us a little bit more about who he is. So Felix, if you want to unmute yourself and just give us a little bit more about who you are, what you do for Comcast.
Hi, Juan. Thanks for inviting me here. My name is Felix Sedziafa with Comcast. I've been with the company for just over 11 years. I'm with the sales and business operations part of the business.
Yeah, and Felix is very involved with the Comcast Rise program, so he's gonna give us a lot of information, and he's on what the program is, how it helps businesses not only through this investment fund, but also in different ways through other programs as well. But actually, the Comcast Rise program it was started in October of 2020. This program was actually created, and Houston was selected of one of 5 cities where $5 million were designated to be awarded in 5 different cities. So Houston was actually awarded $1 million to give away to local businesses. Well, not give away, but to businesses that earned it through the competition that they participated in. And so the two businesses that we have here today were 2 of 100 businesses that were selected to receive $10,000 grants each. So that totals $1 million here in the local region that's really making a positive impact, especially after a year like 2020. So Felix, let me go in and get some information from you. So because our community was hit pretty hard by the pandemic, tell us about how, and specifically the Comcast Rise program is helping small businesses in the Houston area.
Thank you, Juan. So like you said, in October 2020, we introduced Comcast Rise. Rise, which actually stands for representation, investment, strength, and empowerment. It's a multi-year, multifaceted initiative that is focused on small businesses owned by people of color and who have been the hardest hit by COVID-19. There are 3 components to the Comcast Rise program. 1, we have the Media and Technology Resource Program. 2, we have the grant program, which is a Rise Investment Fund, which you just talked about with $1 million and to the Houston community. And then the third part is we have a business resource page on our Xfinity TV platform.
Okay, so it's a pretty robust program, and it's great that it's dedicated to people of color and specifically business owners that sometimes don't have as much access to other opportunities. So I myself, being a business owner, I know that very well as well, but it's very appreciated. Is this just a one-time opportunity, Felix? And so if you didn't get in, now you lost your chance, or are there other opportunities?
No, actually, no. That's a very good question. So this is a multi-year initiative. We are currently on our 3rd round of winners for the technology and the media makeover. We just closed out round 3 on May 7th. The next round is now open until July 31st. So please tell everybody, go to ComcastRise.com and apply.
Okay, and what was that deadline again?
The deadline for the next round that we are currently in is July 31st.
Okay, so there you go, folks. If you didn't receive this first round, then you definitely want to apply by that deadline and get your application in, because as these folks will tell you when here in a minute, it is a good to be on the other end and to have received that grant. So, where can people get more information, Felix?
Everybody can go online, go to ComcastRise.com.
All right. And if you see the little graphic on the bottom corner, you'll see that it's right there, ComcastRise.com. That's where you can go and get all the details about this program that we're talking about today. So before we go on to talk to entrepreneurs today, let me share a quick video that I know Comcast put a lot of effort behind into highlighting what the economic impact is for local businesses in the local region. So let me share that with everyone, and we'll watch it together.
COVID-19 has been a disruptor in the city of Houston's economy. Many small businesses, specifically minority businesses, have been hit hard by this pandemic.
A lot of the service industries who have that in-person interactions were really impacted.
It's been devastating. I mean, it's been affecting families that have owned businesses for generations.
Comcast Rise program will provide opportunities for many of our small businesses to continue to maintain and also thrive as we work through this pandemic.
Having this opportunity to be able to showcase a very diverse group of small businesses that represent a minority owner, that allows our community to say, I want to support your business.
I think supporting small businesses creates a sense of community. Working to make sure our small businesses stay afloat, it creates a sense of well-being when you can have the community aspect involved.
Folks, what are your thoughts watching that video? As business owners, let me jump in with Denise and Drew and the 132 design team. I'll let you guys introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about your business. But first off, before you do that, tell us what are your thoughts after watching that video, and being a business that might have been affected during 2020.
I think it is a reminder how important it is for local businesses, for small businesses to get support. We saw so many people really working to try to make it through this pandemic and not. And so it is definitely important to support small. So that's something that brings to mind for me.
Yeah, most definitely. And it was hard for a moment. And not that things have just gotten easy automatically, but it's also interesting to look back to see how much time went by. It didn't seem that long. Like I'm watching that and I'm like, wow, yeah, we really had a hard time. People have been having a hard time and we're trying to get out of it.
Yeah, and some people are still having a hard time, like you said. They're still trying to get out of it. It's not over. It's gotten better, thankfully, but people are still in the struggle. What about you guys at 132 Design? What are your thoughts?
I think it's really important to know that there are big organizations out there that recognize the struggle from a small business perspective, and it makes me feel good knowing that there is help from the top up. I don't know about you guys.
I was thinking that it's interesting that a word pivot has become such a strong word in the last year or two, and that's what we've had to change even our business model to help people pivot in this industry during these times.
Yeah. So speaking of that, tell me a little bit about your business and what you do, so people get an understanding of who you are.
We're a web development and brand company, and we like to help small businesses get their brand out there. We do a little bit of everything, but our main focus is helping businesses grow.
Great. What about you guys at All Real Radio? I think we can kind of assume from the name that maybe you guys are in radio.
Yeah, just a little bit. A little radio.
So we're a 24/7 radio station, mainly focused on soul, hip hop, R&B. It's conscious, positive radio. We have 15 shows right now, which is crazy. I counted the other day. And they all range in different topics, all really just with the goal of empowerment and self-awareness and self-sustainability and just being socially responsible. And like I said, 24/7, several shows. Drew and I host the morning show, and we also have hosted different events and things throughout the city, really just with the goal of making people just feel good. Music
Yeah.
Music is an empowering thing. And so we're happy to have been here 7 years going.
Yeah.
So
we
far.
make the world better. That's what we like to
Right.
say. Shout out
And
to
you
our founder that passed on, Zen,
Mm.
Anthony Mills.
Mhm.
But that's something that he said that they came up with, that we make the world better. And that's our plan, you know.
Yeah. No, that's great. And you say 7 years easy, but it's not. Anybody that's been in business for themselves know that, 7 years, you can say it easily, but it's not so easy. But to give us a sample and give us a taste of what kind of a programming we would listen to when we listen to All Real Radio.
Go ahead.
Okay, first off, in the mornings from 9 to 11, sometimes a little later, you'll hear Trey Brew. That's me and Denise. It's our morning show, and we talk about all type of things. We talk about things specifically in Third Ward. We talk about things in Houston in general. We talk about things in Texas and in the world. We like to have fun. A lot of it's funny. Some of it's serious, but even we try to bring light to the seriousness. People listen. We have a lot of people come in, and we do interviews with people weekly. That's our show. And another show we can talk about is, show.
we have Refreshingly Problematic, which is they're kind of just like taking whatever the gossip is around and talking about it and breaking it down kind of in a real way. That's on Tuesdays. We have homeschooling in the key of life on Saturdays. So our Saturday programming is kind of developing into children's conscious programming, and we have music shows, jazz.
Yeah, we have a really good jazz show on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Swinging Jazz Soldier. It's with a guy named Jarvis Hawkins. So if anybody's like into jazz, and even if you're not, you should listen. It comes on at 1:30. This guy, he's like the Rain Man of music. I've actually seen he dropped his folder, no joke, and he has theory on music like written out where you like, this doesn't exist, but he makes it himself.
Yeah. Everything turns out educational and enlightening. So all the shows, like I said, there's 15. So go to the site and check out the lineup. But a little bit of everything, and then just music in between day and night.
Afrofuturism in the AM. We have a show on Saturday mornings that I don't think anyone else has this show.
Yeah, well, listen, I could keep talking about that because that's right up my alley. I like all that kind of music, so it sounds really awesome. I'm gonna be tuning in real quick, but now let's get a little bit more serious and kind of talk about the last 12 months. And let me start with you guys at 132 Design Team. So tell me a little bit about what the last 12 months have actually been like for you as business owners. I know that for a lot of us, we have been facing challenges, but what was it like for you all?
So initially at the start of the pandemic, we were still in a little bit of shock. We didn't really know which way this was going to go. We kind of just took a step back to reevaluate who we are as a business and what we're providing. And so, and then in that, we started working on ourselves and our business and creating better systems and just improving in every way that we could because we had the time.
Yeah.
And in the 12 months, so much has changed. We resigned from our full-time positions. We saw all that was to gain from pursuing this full time, and we really did run with our passion. And so much has changed.
Yeah.
I think something that's Eric made a shirt that said American Renaissance. And we really felt like it was happening at the time because although obviously hardship was amongst us, we started seeing that people were starting businesses, and we thought it would have been quite the opposite. But people are starting businesses, and we're trying to. That was like, whoa, like that's right up our alley. We can help you, grow your business.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's really. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And especially launching your business and making the decision to leave your full-time jobs, like you said, and making that pivot. I think that's not the easiest time to be doing it. But what about you guys? I know you guys have been a little bit in the business a little bit longer, Denise and Drew, but I imagine 2020 was a little bit different than most years.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So much the same. Like we didn't know what we're going to be dealing with moving forward, and we were kind of just waiting. The beautiful thing is that we're online, right? So we're digital already, and so that helped us to be able to start to be conscious of where our broadcasters were. So for our broadcasters, for all the different people, comfortability and whether they were going to be able to want to come into the studio. So we had to adjust to that. We had to adjust to the way people felt comfortable and where we were like a station where we would really like to hang out together, all together, and everybody kind of knew each other and what was going on. It was kind of like we sometimes are here, we're not here at the same times. So we started having to integrate, different tools to keep in touch with one another, to have our meetings and things like that. So we definitely had to change things. And yeah, just like 132 said, seeing so many businesses pop up and wanting to make sure that people know about what was still happening in the community, that was something that started to happen for sure. So, and they're doing a lot of interviews on the phone instead of people coming into the studio.
Yeah. It also gives an opportunity to do stuff for the community. Like we had a diaper drive and all of these different things, and it all came about because of what was happening around us. And these are things that we're able to take into our future too as well.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that, was great to see during the pandemic, even though it was a difficult time. It was good to see, a lot of people coming together and doing things for the community and thinking about, not just yourself, but thinking about others. And I think for a lot of us, maybe it was a reset too. It was kind of a moment to take a breather and to say, you know what, let's take a step back and really analyze, is this what I want to be doing or not? Or do I need to move in a different direction? Felix, I'm going to come back to you real quick. I imagine that you, as somebody who is very familiar with businesses and who talks to businesses on a regular basis, that you see that you have those types of conversations often. Would you say that's true?
Yes. Most of the winners I've talked to in the past have been, they didn't know what to do. Some of them were worrying about losing their businesses. And so it was a life-saving event for them to hear about the investment fund being given by Comcast, and also not only just that part, but the technology and the media makeover also helped them, because with the technology makeover, it gives them equipment and also gives them Comcast complimentary services for most of them.
Yeah, especially in the digital age, I imagine, it's important to be present and to have quality content and quality products that you're putting out on the online platforms, whether it's digital, whether it's social media, or whether it's just your own website. You definitely want to have a good presence. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of programs like this initiative, like the Comcast Rise Investment Fund and Comcast Rise itself. What's the importance for you guys as business owners? What do you all think is the importance of having programs like this available, especially to businesses and people of color?
It's very important. And it's great to know that, as a small business, sometimes it seems like nobody's watching or there's no help, and it's great that Comcast would come and give us an opportunity, and they're actually helping us to advance our technology, because there's a lot of things we want to do. It's things that we were dreaming of, and now it's been brought a lot closer to us.
Yeah, it's definitely an opportunity for that. And to see that it can get really lonely when you're working. You have your head down and you're working and you're not sure if you're making an impact. You're not sure if people see the value in the work. And so to have programs like this and a company like Comcast and a thing like Comcast Rise to say, we see you, we know the work that's happening, and we see the value, and we're going to provide you with more. So it allows us to stop, because the bills didn't stop during the pandemic, So it was like, hey, there's an opportunity to think creatively, and we're not trying to, fight to catch up, or, when you're worried, you can't be creative, right? So it's, when you have the other things on your mind and your heart, you can't be creative. So I feel like it's allowed us the opportunity to think again about like things that are going to make us thrive, as opposed to like reacting to what's happening.
I think it's so important that you said that, Denise, in terms of like that if the bills are not going to stop coming, and it's important for you to think about your own personal well-being before you start. In order for you to be creative, you have to have some of those things taken care of. So Ashley and team, what do you guys think?
Yeah, it definitely gave us some breathing room. And like she said, it's allowing us to focus on being creative. I mean, we're a creative agency. And with that investment into us, now we're able to invest into other businesses and focus on, helping them grow. So, it was definitely something that gave us some, how do you say, like relief.
It breathed life into our company. I'm frugal, okay. And so whenever they say, hey, let's put some money into this, it's like, man, I got to think about that, and when we were given this grant, I was like, okay, now, maybe I'm still frugal, but, I can think about it a little differently. And it does give us, I love the way All Real Radio said it, when you're trying to be creative, you got to be uninhibited. And that's everything, like on everything that we do. We don't have to think, we don't have that distraction of like, can we make it work? And now it's like, let's just make it work.
Yep.
I also love that Comcast is giving an opportunity to increase representation for minority-owned businesses, and we don't see a lot of people like us receiving these type of grants every day. It's rare, and so I love that we are able to add to that representation in a positive way, and then encourage other business owners in Houston to go after these type of opportunities, because they exist and they are real, and we are real. We really do own businesses, and we do live in in the city of Houston and represent our city, and it's all real. So I love that part.
All Real Radio.
All Real Radio.
You beat me to the punchline, but I think that's a great point. And you guys, I think that I share those thoughts as well. I'm with you, and definitely I'm frugal myself. So, but one thing you learn as well is that you have to invest, and you have to invest in your business in order to be successful. And so this makes it easier to invest. So was this the first time for you all, for both teams? Is this the first time that you've applied for a program like this, or had you applied for similar grants in the past?
Yeah.
This is our very first time.
And would you do it again? What did you learn?
That it works. Because she was applying for it, and I kind of was like, oh, that's cool, Ashley, cool,
Yeah.
And then we got the email, and I think we were having lunch, and she was like, yo, and we were kind of like, we thought it was spam mail.
I was scratching my head. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We did that 6 weeks ago. And I had to let them all look at the email, because I was like, is this for real? Is this happening?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Similarly, I'm just listening to you guys. It was, we have actually, because so many of our broadcasters and ourselves, as individuals, are artists, and Drew's a photographer and a videographer. I'm a poet, I also do literacy programming and things like that. So I've applied for grants as artist grants. And we actually, there is another grantor called Resist, that it's kind of like an activist type of situation. So because we raise a lot of different, topics and talk about things that are happening in the country, they also have acknowledged us in the past. So it's been a part of our survival for sure, to, little small things here and there. Yeah. And so we're super grateful. And then with the Comcast one, that's the same thing. I'm a grant writing person. I go after them. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, we fit all the parts. Let's try it. And we went back and had to do the same thing. What was this? Oh wow, it was a beautiful thing. I remember I saw it and applied for it the same day, and just trying to piece it all together. So. Yeah. It was an easy process as well. I do remember that, because I did part of it on my phone and then got on the computer. So, it was easy to navigate too, which is a great thing.
This is a great to do something. Not that the others didn't, but this was nice. We had to look at it twice too, here we go.
Yeah, there you go. And it's awesome because I think, for it, that's a good point also to say that it's an easy application. It's not a hard thing to do. It's you go in and you apply, and for the deadline that's coming up in July. So for the people who are out there watching or listening and they haven't are thinking like, well, should I apply? Should I not apply? Is it worth it? You never know unless you go and you take a chance and you take the opportunity to give yourself a chance to apply for it, because you're a business owner and there's opportunities out there for you. So definitely go in and apply. So I don't know like how much you want to share, but I do want to ask you, kind of what you think, how you think this grant is going to help you, how you if you have any plans yet of how you're going to be applying it, or what your thoughts are on that. So anything that you all want to share.
Yeah, we've definitely we've already been using it as to get us software and updated some of our hardware, and as things come along the path, we have that
Infrastructure.
that safety net there to say that we can pull from. So yeah, it's definitely going back into making us better.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, just to add to that, it's making us better so we can make community businesses better.
Yeah.
Because that's really our goal.
That's
Like,
what we do.
one thing that I love that All Real Radio said was that, like, they're, Houston centric, Texas centric. Like, that's one of my goals, is to make H-Town even give it a better platform, and we can give businesses that kind of brand and that kind of voice and help them grow as well.
And longevity. We want these businesses to have longevity.
So that's going to help us do that.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, branding is so important. So you guys are doing something that is so needed. So many people are out there, and by the time it's like your logo, period, you need help. Yeah.
We'll be talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I could see we're making connections here already. We're like,
Right, but as far as technology, so I'm gonna say we were kind of behind, because people are like, hey, we want to see you guys, we want to see the shows. So this is gonna help us move into that arena where we're able to get live streaming equipment versus, even though we're using our computer, this works. But when we have a group of people in here, it's just not the same thing. So we're gonna update some of our equipment. We have a lot of things that, we've been getting by with, but now we're able to, step into the arena a little differently.
Yeah, so bringing that video, people come in here all the time and they're like, oh, you guys should do like the Breakfast Club and we want to see you. And we're like, oh yeah, we never thought of that. Yeah. But it's more like, it takes, you need to set up, right? You need to set up. Yeah. So yeah, we're excited that we can get into that video arena and just update software, take care of some of our broadcasters and also invest in some of the people that have believed in us all of this time, like people, just friends and other businesses that have been like, just take out like a radio ad with us, knowing that, we were growing. So we're able to like turn around, show love, and hopefully as COVID subsides, that we can start to do some of our events again that people really looked out for.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're ready for events, and I don't know, but it looks like you guys have a pretty good setup back there for a video podcast. So I encourage you to pursue that. But yeah, absolutely, and I like that you both groups you talked about helping others, not just investing in what you need right now, but thinking about helping others in the community. And I think that's something that's really important. And I think for a lot of us who are business owners of color, that's important. It's important to support our community and important to help others within our community. So for people who may be out there, let's talk about maybe the new business owner or somebody who just maybe they have a startup and they're thinking, I've seen grant opportunities and I've seen other programs similar to this, but I don't know if I should apply or not. What would you say to them in terms of making the decision of whether or not to go after an opportunity like Comcast, like this Comcast Rise opportunity?
Apply. Apply. Okay.
Don't be like me and Eric, be like Ashley.
Do it.
Start it and finish it.
Start it and finish it.
And finish the application, because you don't know unless you try. So.
And I mean, the worst thing that you can get is a no. But the best possible outcome, you get it. So do it.
And in preparation for this, I think Felix and I had a conversation, and one of the things that Felix said was, the worst thing you like is similar to what you just said. The worst thing you can get is a no, but if you get a no, you learn and you apply again for the next opportunity, and that's you just keep
that's what I
going
was
because
gonna
that's what
say.
it's about.
Keep you a folder. I love Google Drive. Make you a grant folder and have all your information and be ready. Be ready for these types of opportunities. Make sure everybody has a bio. Make sure that make sure that you're writing out what you've been doing and keeping track of it, so that people want to know your story, and so you keep that and go for it. You never know until you try, and it's such a breath of fresh air when when you do get it and you're able to, and then you'll be ready for the next one. They can be kind of similar. You just have to move some things around, so it's worth it.
Apply, pray, apply.
Yeah, and you're right. You have the template built, so then you can build on it and you can go for the next one. But Jesse says he needs to apply as well. So yeah, let's encourage Jesse and anybody else who's watching to definitely go and apply and do that. Let's talk now. Things are getting a little bit better. Things are starting to open up, and we're hoping that things are going to keep in that positive momentum. What are you guys most excited about going into the rest of 2021 and 2022 as business owners? What are the things that you're thinking about, that you're excited about?
Well, we're excited to meet with clients in person again.
Yes.
That's been wonderful because we're people. We love people. And so just having the space and the security and feeling safe to meet with clients again and create in a space together is wonderful this year.
Yeah, just being able to chop it up with people.
Right.
Y'all got questions about anything, y'all need branding or whatnot, come through. We're here to help people, and there's a certain energy that happens when we're able to sit in front of each other, and it creates an energy that the creativity starts flowing, and
I'm looking forward to not having to worry about being on mute or when to say bye and leave. That's what I'm worried. That's what I'm happy with.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited about a lot. We have a coffee brand, that we're going to put out. So this gives us the time, and we can get with it. Mm-hmm. And we're doing a festival in 2022. This is going to help us. We're excited about it. People are going to be able to get back together, and be around each other. And like you say, meeting in person. Our interviews, they happen in person. They're better when we do them in person. We've been interviewing a lot of people, over the phone, and it's fine. But being able to have someone in here with us, and us being able to see each other and communicate while we're doing these interviews, it makes a big difference.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to just a lot of changing some spaces and there's a lot of things coming, and I'm excited as well to get off of Zoom. There's just something that you're missing, right, from not being able to be in person. And as much as you could try, and you got team building and breakout rooms and all these things, it's just not the same as sharing space. So. Yeah.
I mean, imagine if we would have done this in person. The camaraderie and the fun that you would have in person. It's you can talk so much more. But that's awesome. Before we close out, I do want to go around and just have you all tell everybody where they can find your business. And again, tell us again what your business is about, and any final thoughts that you have that you want to share. So before we go to the businesses, Felix, let me start with you and just remind people again about Comcast Rise, the next deadline coming up, and anything else that you want to close out with.
The Comcast Rise program is a great program for small businesses that are owned by people of color. Website again is comcastrise.com. The current deadline for this round is July 31st, and if you don't get paid, keep applying. It's a multi-year thing, so it's going to keep going on further into next year. So keep applying.
Awesome. All Real Radio.
Yes, so we are a 24/7 soul hip hop R&B radio station. We have 15 live shows throughout the week, and we're broadcasting live from the Trade. That's Third Ward, Houston. But you can listen to us anywhere in the world, and go to allrealradio.com. You can follow us on all social media at All Real Radio as well, and go find our individual broadcasters and us on Instagram as well, and go follow.
Yeah, we'd like to say thank you to Comcast for giving us this opportunity, and give everybody an open invite to come on the show when you can, an interview, or we'll do it over phone. However, but we would like to talk to you guys and chop it up.
And 132 Design is a creative agency right here in the heart of H-Town. We provide solutions, design solutions, marketing solutions for progressive businesses, especially those that like to take risks. You can find us on Facebook at 132 Design, Instagram at 132 Design _ and Twitter.
132 Design on Twitter.
132 Design on Twitter. We want to say thank you to Comcast. We are super grateful and humbled by this opportunity, and we look forward to partnering with you guys again in the future to help boost businesses in Houston.
And to all the day ones that took a chance on us to, y'all know who you are.
Shout out to our day ones, and shout out to
Ashish and Kiana over here at
Common Desk. They hold it down here for us, and we love the team here. So, yes.
Awesome. It is great to get to know all of you and to hear a little bit about your stories. It's not enough in this time frame that we had, but we definitely are excited. And again, congratulations to you both companies for being recipients. And Felix, thank you for being here. I'm going to go ahead and close out the Facebook Live. But again, just reminding folks that if you haven't applied for the second wave, you can still do that. The deadline is in July 31st. So definitely go and make that application happen today. But thank you all for being here. And thank you guys. Thank you, the teams, for being here. Congratulations.